kung hindi nyo pa nagagawa, please like and subscribe at pakipindot na rin ang notification bell para ma-notify kayo every time may bago tayong video. Salamat! Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat at narito po muli tayo para sa isa na namang panibagong video. Sa videong ito ay sisikapin nating ipaliwanag ang tungkol sa job-embedded learning sa pinakamadaling paraan upang mas madali nating magawa itong task na iniatang sa ating mga proficient teachers bilang bahagi ng ating E-Raise Up seminar. Mas mainam po siguro kung una sa lahat ay alamin muna natin ano ba ang job-embedded learning. It is also linked with job-embedded professional development, which means a professional development within school focused on quality instruction and student achievement. So, ibig pong sabihin, this is another professional development na ginagawa nating mga teachers within school na nakatutok po sa pagbibigay ng quality education for our learners. Sa simpleng salita po, ang job-embedded learning is another professional development activity o another learning for us teachers which is embedded to our original work. Kasi originally, ang job natin is to teach. Pero alam naman natin na aside from teaching, there are still a lot of other things that we do and we need to do. So ito po yung mga yon. Another learning for those things that we have to do as part of being a teacher. As part of our task from the recently concluded E-Raise Up seminar, we are tasked to do a job-embedded learning plan. So, dito sa video ito, ay ipapaliwanag natin paano ba i-accomplish itong job-embedded learning plan o yung JEL plan na kailangan nating isubmit 2 weeks after the last day of the E-Raise Up seminars. And once again, we are provided with a template, the job-embedded learning plan template, na kailangan lang nating unawain, intindihin, at mai-accomplish. Siyempre po, una sa lahat, kailangan unawain natin yung instruction. So, basahin natin mabuti ang instruction para maunawaan natin kung ano ang gagawin natin. Nakalagay po dyan, this is a primary output of the course. So, ito po yung pinakang-importanteng output sa entire duration ng ating E-Raise Up seminar. And then, we have to consult or we have to refer or we have to discuss this with our immediate supervisor o yung mismong master teacher or head teacher na nag-rate ng ating IPCRF. The job-embedded learning shall be implemented. Kung anumang activity po na mapapaloob dito sa ating job-embedded learning plan ay dapat maisagawa mula nakalagay dito October pero lininaw to na it will start November 2021 to June 2022 dahil nga October na natin ginanap yung E-Raise Up seminar. So the plan should be implemented from November 2021 to June 2022. Then you should refer to your PCRF and review it in order for you to complete the task. So ang ating task na ito na sa JEL plan will be based on our IPCRF or RPMS. Okay? So please take note of the domains, strands, and indicators that this program course intends to address. So ito importante ito. Hindi ito basta lang tayo gagawa ng activity or ng plano. Importante na we take note yung domain, strands, and indicators na kinakailangan dito sa specific na output na to or na program na to. So base sa content ng ating isinagawang E-Raise Up seminar, tayo ay nag-focus lamang sa 2 domain at 3 strand mula sa ating professional standards for teachers o yung ating PPST. So kung babalikan natin yung context ng ating isinagawang E-Raise Up seminar, dito lang naman talaga tayo nag-focus sa 2 domain ng PPST and 3 strands. So we focused on the domain 3, the diversity of learners, on strands 3.3, that's learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents, and strand 3.4, the learners in difficult circumstances. So dito umikot halos yung ating seminar. And then under domain 4, we have the strand 4.5, teaching and learning resources including ICT. So ito yung binigay sa atin, dito daw po tayo magpo-focus, dito tayo magbe-base ng ating job-embedded learning plan. Hindi tayo pwedeng lumayo. Ano ang mga activities na pwede natin gawin? Anong mga professional development na pwede natin gawin that will fall under these 3 strands of the 2 PPST domains? Okay, so umpisahan na nating i-fill out ang ating JEL plan. So dun sa Job Embedded Learning Plan, that's the title. Next to that is the name of the learner and then the office and position. So ang name of the learner po, tayo po yun. So pangalan natin ang ilalagay dyan kasi tayo yung learner, tayo yung kailangang matuto. And then office and position, your school and your position. Kasunod naman yan is yung ating title of training program attended. So ang ilalagay natin dyan yung ating inatinan na e-raise up seminar. Date of training, that's October 19 to 22. And then the implementing office, that is NAYAP. And then last one dyan is the name of the supervisor. So ito yung name ng ating master teacher or head teacher na rater natin sa ating IPCRF, and siya din, sa kanya din natin i-discuss or i-discuss itong ating GEL plan. So we have to identify also his or her office and position. Next, we'll go to the background and rationale of the planned GEL. Dito daw, we have to briefly describe why the GEL intervention will be implemented. Bakit ba tayo gagawa nitong ating GEL intervention? We also have to identify the competency gaps that will be addressed. Ano ba ang kailangan nating tugunan? Saan ba tayo nakakita ng gap? Saan ba tayo nakakita ng kakulangan? So, ipapaliwanag natin dito. So, ano ba ang ilalagay natin dito? Ano ba exactly ang kailangan laman nitong part na to? Okay, so babalikan ulit natin tong tatlong PPST strand under 2 domains. Dito daw kasi tayo magfo-focus. So dito sa strands 3.3, learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents, 3.4, learners in difficult circumstances, and 4.5, teaching and learning resources including ICT. Alin ba dyan sa tingin natin tayo nagkaroon ng kakulangan o kailangan natin ng improvement? So pipili tayo ng isa dyan. Alin dyan ang kailangan natin ng improvement? Yun yung gagawa natin ng Job Embedded Learning Plan. Halimbawa, ang pinili natin, for example, is yung strand 4.5, teaching and learning resources including ICT. Okay, so pwede po natin ilagay sa ating background and rationale. After discussing my PCRF with my rater, we noticed that I still have to improve on my ICT skills to be used on my class. This was shown on my RPMS tool that I got 3.0 on this specific key results area. Example lang po yan. Okay? So, pwede po ganyan na maging content ng ating background and rationale. Sinabi natin kung bakit tayo mag-GEL plan. Yun is to improve our ICT skills. Bakit? Sa natin nakita na meron tayong gap doon nung balikan natin ang RPMS on that specific key results area. So, ayan. Kaya nga kailangan nating i-discuss ang GEL plan na ito with our rater. Kasi babalikan natin yung ating ginawang RPMS. And dun sa tatlong domain at tatlong strand from PPST, alin dun tayo sa tingin natin ng improvement. So, ibig sabihin, babalikan natin din yung ating RPMS tool. Okay, so ibig sabihin, babalikan natin yung RPMS tool. Hahanapin natin doon kung saan key results area kailangan natin ng improvement, saan banda nagkaroon ng gap. So for this particular example, dahil nga we are asked to choose from the 3 strands lang, di ba? From our seminar, doon lang tayo pipili. And for the purpose of this explanation, nagpunta tayo doon sa strand 4.5. Kaya hahanapin natin yon sa ating RPMS, and it actually falls under the key results area 3, that is curriculum and planning, objective number 7, which is selected, develop, organize, and use appropriate teaching and learning resources, including ICT, to address learning goals. So dito tayo magfo-focus sa ating GEL plan example ngayon. That is assuming na, for example, dito tayo nagkaroon ng gap, or dito tayo nagkaroon ng pagkukulang na kailangan nating tugunan. Lilinawin ko lang, ulitin ko lang na ang ating activity as per the e-raise up seminar, dun lang tayo sa tatlong strand pipili. So hahanapin natin alin dun sa tatlo natin kailangan ng job embedded learning plan. Pero sa real life situation, of course, pwede tayong kumuha ng kahit anong key results area sa ating RPMS na kung saan kailangan natin ng intervention. Kahit ano doon, pwede natin gawa ng job embedded learning plan. Pero for the purpose of this activity under the e-raise up, yung tatlo lang na yon ang ating tututukan. Alin dun sa tatlo na yon kailangan natin ng intervention. Okay, so we finally decided on what particular key results area are we going to do the job embedded learning plan for. That is because nakipag-usap na tayo, or we discussed this with our rater. At yung lalagyan nga natin ng GEL plan is the key results area number 3 and objective number 7. So babalikan uli natin yung ating job embedded learning plan at pupunta na tayo dun sa kasunod na part, which is the expected performance improvement. Under this, meron tayong 4 na column. Anong ilalagay natin sa bawat column? So the first column is competencies for development. Ang ilalagay natin, yung competency according to the PPST strand, yung tatlo na pinagpilian natin. So dahil ang napili ko is yung 4.5, ang ilalagay ko dito is yung 4.5 strand, which is teaching and learning resources including ICT. Ayan, so ilinagay na natin dyan sa column under competencies for development. Okay, ngayon, so pupunta naman tayo sa next column, key results area. Ang ilalagay naman natin dito is the key results area na kung saan naroroon yung ating competency for development under the RPMS tool. So ito yon, key results area number 3, curriculum and planning. Yan yung ilalagay natin sa second column. So ayan na, nailagay na natin sa key results area. Pupunta naman tayo sa third column, expected improvement in performance and indicator. Ano naman po ang ilalagay natin sa column na to? So babalikan po uli natin yung ating RPMS tool na minention natin yung KRA number 3, curriculum and planning, objective 7. So binanggit ko sa background and rationale kanina na I only got 3.0 on this objective. So ibig sabihin, I only demonstrated level 5 in objective 7 as shown in COT rating sheets or inter-observer agreement form. So kung 3 lang po ang nakuha ko doon, ibig sabihin, I need to improve. So ang ilalagay po natin sa third column, it's either getting 4.0, that is demonstrating level 6 in the objective 7 as shown in the COT, o kaya yung 5.0 na demonstrated level 7 in objective 7 as shown in COT. Ibig pong sabihin, kailangan sa susunod na COT natin, makakuha na tayo ng level 6 or level 7 para mapakita na nag-improve tayo sa objective na ito. Ayan, so ilalagay na natin sa column 7, demonstrated level 7 in objective 7 as shown in COT rating sheets or inter-observer agreement forms. Ibig sabihin, sa susunod na COT natin, we are aiming a level 7 in objective 7. Dapat nag-improve na tayo from level 5 to level 7. Next, on the last column is the means of verification. Ano pong ilalagay na natin dyan? Kukunin lang po natin yung means of verification sa RPMS natin under KRA number 3, curriculum and planning, objective number 7. Kasi yun po yung linagay natin dito na KRA. So yung pong means of verification doon, yun lang po ilalagay natin dito. So ang means of verification po natin para sa KRA 3, curriculum and planning, objective 7, is the classroom observation tool or the inter-observer agreement form. Kailangan po mag-reflect dito sa ating COT na tayo ay nag-improve from level 5 to level 7. So yun yung ating MOV. So pupunta na po tayo sa second part ng ating GEL plan. Dito po sa next page, sa unahan nito makikita natin yung type of GEL intervention, check the boxes. So pipili lang po tayo kung anong klaseng intervention among these options ang gagamitin natin for this specific job embedded learning plan. So isa-isahin po natin ano po ba ibig sabihin nitong mga options na to. Okay, so unahin natin yung job expansion. So pwedeng as part of our job embedded learning na makakatugon dun sa gap na na-identify natin dati, nagkaroon tayo ng job expansion. Ano ba yung job expansion? Ibig sabihin, nagkaroon tayo ng additional duties or responsibility. So kung ang linagay natin na competency for development dun sa ating GEL plan, for example, yung linagay natin na teaching and learning resources including ICT. Tapos for example, nabigyan tayo ng additional duty bilang ICT coordinator. So pwede natin gamitin yung job expansion. Kasi related to dun sa ating competencies for development. So pwede natin gamitin tong job expansion template as MOV dun sa ating GEL plan. So kailangan lang natin i-identify lahat ng mga hinihingi sa template na to. The additional duties and responsibilities, learning or enabling objective, the tasks or the activities that you did during this additional responsibility, the inclusive dates, and then the outputs that you have made, and of course, the support or resources needed. So, dapat ang job expansion, ulitin ko, ay connected dun sa competencies for development na dineclare natin. Ngayon, kung nabigyan tayo ng additional responsibility which is not connected, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin dito. Next one is the job shadowing. Pag sinabi daw natin job shadowing, ito yung mentoring and coaching galing sa ating master teachers or head teachers na ginawa sa atin in connection dun sa atin pa ring competencies for development. So, halimbawa, nagkaroon tayo ng mentoring, minentor tayo ng ating rater about this competency. So, pwede natin yung gamitin dito sa ating GL plan. And we have to accomplish this job shadowing template para magamit natin yon. Kung saan ilalagay natin yung pangalan ng mentor or ng ating coach, the learning enabling objectives, and the tasks and the activities that we did. Tapos, we also have to indicate the inclusive dates, the outputs that we have produced, and then of course, the support and the resources needed. Another one is the job rotation. Pag sinabi daw yung job rotation, ito yung from previous assignment or responsibility, napunta tayo sa another additional or assigned assignment. Kung ito, again, is connected dun sa ating dineclare na competency for development, pwede natin gamitin to. For example, from being the property custodian, napunta ka sa ICT. So, kailangan lang patunayan natin sa ating task or activities na ginawa dito, at the same time sa output, na itong ginawang job rotation na to can show the intervention that we did na makakatugon dun sa competencies natin for development. So here, we still have to declare the previous assignment and then the new temporary assignment that we had, then the learning, enabling objective, task, activities that we did, inclusive dates, the outputs, and the sources. Ang next naman ay ang special project. Ang ibig naman sabihin nito, halimbawa meron tayong ginawang special project within school na sa tingin natin ay makakatugon bilang intervention dun sa ating competency for development. Pwede nating isama dito sa ating GEL plan o pwede nating i-indicate dito. Kung wala naman, pwede rin tayong mag-propose ng special project na sa tingin natin ay pwedeng maging intervention para dun sa competency that needs development. Halimbawa, pwede tayong gumawa ng isang programa that will teach halimbawa, the teachers how to use the different ICT applications na magagamit sa mga school. Pwede tayong mag-create ng ating special projects na i-coordinate natin syempre sa ating rater, una sa lahat, and then sa ating school heads para maisakatuparan. So for this one, we have to accomplish the special project template kung saan ilalagay natin yung project name, the purpose of the project, your role in the project, and then the learning enabling objective. We also have to add the task, activities, na gagawin natin sa project na ito, and the inclusive date, the outputs, and the support or resources needed. Another one is the stretch assignment. Pag sinabing stretch assignment, this is in connection dun sa special project pa rin. Halimbawa, yung ginawang special project, bukod dun sa role natin as participant, for example, binigyan pa tayo ng additional role or additional assignment. Halimbawa, ikaw yung ginawang speaker dito, or ikaw yung ginawang project coordinator for this one. So, yun yung stretch assignment. Nadagdagan pa or na-stretch pa yung iyong responsibilities. So, if it is connected, again, dun sa ating competency for development, pwede natin gamitin to. So, we have to accomplish the stretch assignments template kung saan you have to identify the project or the program name, your role or your stretch assignment, ano yung naging additional role mo dito. And of course, the learning enabling objective, the tasks, and the activities that you did, and then the inclusive dates, the outputs, and the support or resources needed. Next one is the committee work. Again, kung nagbuo halimbawa sa school ng isang committee, and do you think that this committee has something to do with the competency that we declare that needs development, pwede natin gamitin to as intervention. So, we have to accomplish this committee work template. What is the committee name, the purpose of the committee, your role in the committee, and then the learning enabling objective, the tasks and activities that you had, the inclusive dates, the outputs that you did, and then the support or resources material. Next one is the informal GEL activity. Pag sinabi daw informal GEL activity, these are the other activities na ginawa mo or inassign sa'yo, which is informal. Ibig sabihin, walang formal assignment. Halimbawa, ang binigay na halimbawa dito, during the seminar, ikaw ay tinalaga bilang ang teacher na responsible sa paggagawa ng online graduation. So, ikaw lahat yung nag-design ng template ng graduation, ikaw ang naggawa ng mga presentation para sa graduation, ikaw din yung nag-live stream. So, that is an example of informal GEL activity. And, kung titingnan natin, this is in connection to our competencies for development, which is teaching and learning resources, including ICT. Kasi, during this online or graduation, na ipakita mo na ikaw ay nagkaroon ng kaalaman at kakayahan to use ICT kasi online graduation to. So ito napakagandang example para sa ating informal GEL activity in connection din sa ating ilinagay na competencies for development. So we just have to accomplish the template wherein you have to identify the informal GEL activity or activities, tapos yung role or your role or the assignment, and then the learning enabling objective, the task or activities you did, and then of course our inclusive dates, and then the outputs, at saka yung ating support or resources needed. The last one on the GEL activity options is the Workplace Application Plan or WAP. Di tayo binigyan masyado ng explanation dito, pero I believe this has something to do with the application plan. Ano ba ang plano natin? Paano natin i-apply ang ating mga intervention on our workplace, which is the school or the classroom. So, babalikan natin uli yung ating GEL plan. And on this part, the type of GEL intervention ay kailangan nating ma-check kung alin dito sa mga intervention options ang meron tayo na makakatugon dun sa ating competency for development. Lilinawin ko lang na yung mga templates na nabanggit natin ay hindi kasama sa activities na pinapagawa natin. Pero, ngunit, subalit, ito po ay makakatulong bilang patunay that we did those intervention, na nagawa natin yung mga intervention na yon bilang pagtugon dun sa ating competencies that needs development. Okay, so halimbawa, nagkaroon ako ng shadowing with my rater. Kinoach niya ako tungkol sa ICT. So, checkan ko yung job shadowing. Another one, I was assigned to do the online graduation. So, I can check the informal GEL activities. Uulitin ko po, we need to accomplish the template as proof that we did this particular intervention. Attachment po siya sa ating GEL plan. On the next part naman po, we have to briefly describe the intervention. For example, the type of special project or the nature of committee and role of learner, etc. And specify duration and offices where learner will be assigned, if appropriate. So, use 1 to 2 paragraph. So, dito po, i-briefly describe lang natin yung intervention na chinek natin. So, for our example, chinek natin yung job shadowing at saka yung informal GEL activities. So, pwede tayong pumili ng isa dito o parehas, okay? So, ang gagawin lang natin, i-explain lang natin in paragraph form yung nakalagay sa template. So, kung ang ginamit ko dito ay job shadowing, yung job shadowing template, briefly describe ko lang dito in a paragraph form. We can use the 1 to 2 paragraph. So, for example, ito na yung nagawa kong job shadowing template. So, I was able to fill in the different columns with information. Lahat ng information na nakalagay dyan, gagawin ko lang in paragraph form at yun ang ilalagay ko dun sa ating GEL plan. So, in paragraph form, ito na po siya. The learner will undergo job shadowing as part of the GEL plan. A mentor will be discussing different computer applications needed for online classes. This includes PowerPoint presentation, Zoom application, and Google Meet. The job shadowing will be held from November 8 to 26, 2021, every Wednesday and Friday only. At the end of the session, the learner is expected to submit a PowerPoint presentation for a specific lesson and conduct an online class using Zoom or Google Meet application. So, ayan na po mismo ang ilalagay natin dun sa part right after the type of GEL intervention. So, balikan na uli natin yung ating GEL plan. Ang next one is the terminal objective. Ano po ang ilalagay natin sa terminal objective? Sabi sa seminar, wag na po natin pahirapan ang sarili natin. Kung ano po yung nasa objective sa KRA na ating gagawa na intervention, yun na po mismo ang ilalagay natin dito. So, balikan uli natin yung ating IPCRF. Ang pinili natin para sa GEL plan na ito is the Key Results Area Curriculum and Planning. So, ang objective for this particular strand is the selected, develop, organized, and use appropriate teaching and learning resources including ICT to address learning goals. So, yan po mismo ang susulat na lang natin dun sa terminal objective. Okay, on the next part of our GEL plan is the GEL Activity Implementation Plan. So, ito na po yung actual na mga activities na gagawin natin. So, meron tayo ditong 5 columns. Yung number 1, learning objectives. So, ilalagay daw natin dito what learner will be able to do by the end of a learning session or activity. So, kung babalikan natin yung ating job shadowing template, yung output na linagay natin doon, yun ang ilalagay natin dito. So, ayan na nga, ilinagay na natin sa ating first column, the learning objectives, to be able to present a lesson using PowerPoint presentation, to be able to conduct class using Zoom meeting, and then to be able to conduct a class using the Gmeet application. Ang susunod na column is activities. So, dito ilalagay daw natin the activities that learner will engage in to meet each learning objective. Ano yung mga gagawin natin para ma-meet yung bawat objective? So, para sa mga activities, ilalagay lang natin na ito ay tutorial for each of the needed application. Okay, sa next column, ilalagay natin yung timeline. Kailan natin gagawin tong mga to? Okay, so linagay na natin yung applicable date. Next, ilalagay naman natin yung name of the learning facilitator dahil ito ay job shadowing, so ilalagay natin yung nakalagay natin na mentor or coach. Next one is the support or resources. So nakalagay dyan, ilalagay daw natin office order, information, etc. that are needed. So since this is job shadowing naman, so wala tayong office order dito. So instead, pwede natin itong lagyan ng materials needed katulad ng nakalagay dun sa ating job shadowing template, laptop, internet connection, kasi yun yung kailangan dito sa activity na to. Okay, so we're on to the last part of our GEL plan. So dito, sa unahan ilalagay natin prepared by, then office and position. Since tayo ang nag-prepare ng GEL plan, pangalan natin ang ilalagay dyan. Then reviewed by office and position. Dahil nga ang GEL plan ay dapat i-discuss natin with our rater, pangalan ng ating rater ang ilalagay dyan. Then next one is the learner's signature. So tayo yung learner, lalagyan natin ang signature natin and the date. And then, on the next one is the supervisor's signature. Ito yung signature ng ating rater and the date.